Hey, it's Chris. Holy crap, is this thing massive, folks? This is, well, as you can see, right? ISS freaking Vanguard. This thing really shows you how small this room really is, right? In a nutshell. So, a little bit of unboxing, rambling, this, Mythic Battles Ragnarok, a few thoughts along the way, and just kind of having fun. You ready? Let's talk. So the one thing I'll say with Awaken Realms as I'm taking this off here, you can kind of see just as we've got this, it's basically as far away as I can get it. They really do a pretty stellar job of making sure it gets to you in the first place without any issue. Open here. This is their usual thank you for doing stuff. Dear backer, incredible moment. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, okay. So you can read that. That's a lot of text, but it made a lot of firsts, a lot of public thank yous. So I really like that they do this. It's a little bit of a personal touch more than anything else. And it just makes you really feel like they care. So here we go. We got the Lost Fleet, expansion, Deadly Frontier. Now, is that the stretch goals? I think that's the stretch goal box right there. And then I believe we're just going to have the core box below here in a second. So let's kind of see what we got going on here. Let's rip this out. Yep, core. And then, oh, yep, I did get the personnel files. I forgot that I got the personnel files. Ooh, that got, maybe got a little swoosh there on the side. That probably shouldn't have been on the side, but it doesn't look to have any damage on it. So I guess that's okay. And then huge core box, and we'll skip to the next part. So we've got all three sitting in front of me with the expansion stuff. The personnel files, basically, I think it gives you some more asymmetry with the characters. 150 individual story entries that give you veteran status, alternative crew member cards. Okay, I mean, the big question I have with this, right? Like, I'm semi-reluctant to take the shrink off of this stuff because, although this shrink is already torn on the Lost Fleet here, I just don't know if I'm going to like it. And I don't really want to open up expansion content, like if I'm not going to keep it. Right? That's always the dilemma in this situation. Now, Lost Fleet continuation, it says, multiple crew options, intriguing plot, government shocked by frightening news, Earth's most modern ships have disappeared, interstellar space, Vanguards swiftly fitted for, going on a rescue mission. 10 planetary explorations, 2 to 4 hours each. That's a lot of content. I didn't realize it was going to be that much. And this doesn't look like a whole lot, right? This is not a thick box comparatively, right? Deadly Frontiers is probably twice the size, as you can see there, and the core box is almost twice the size of Deadly Frontier. So again, this is, it's cool. Lost Fleet, did I order this separately? I don't even remember. Like, that's the other thing with some of these crowdfunding projects, right? Nowadays, do you even remember half of what you ordered? Like, I don't, which is probably a problem, right? First sign of a problem is, again, like, that's why these crowdfunding campaigns are so tricky, especially when you split funds with the pledge manager. I hate doing that. At the same time, I prefer to do it as well, because the core tenet of this is really, you never want to pledge more than the core pledge, because invariably, by the time you either get this, the pledge manager is going to open up for a second wave, and you can figure out whether you like it if you're willing to split and pay the difference. I wasn't willing to split and pay the difference. So I may end up with more stuff that, ultimately I don't want. And the weird thing is, some of this campaign stuff, this, Etherfields, Tainted Grail, I don't think it sells as well in the secondary market. I just don't. Like, people always, me, myself included, have been saying for a while, like, you can get a good deal, you can resell for more, but like, that's not holding true well nowadays. It's not. And I don't feel like losing money on every single thing. Anyway, let's get back to the game. What do we got going on here? Expanding the world, expectations, veterans, gameplay twists. Dozens of years have passed since the original. You've got to restore the sections to their old glory, find your people, and cooperate with unknown species. So we're Star Trekking, essentially. We're Star Trekking. Interesting, though. This one actually says I need Lost Fleet to play this one. So I didn't realize that. So I'm going to have Lost Fleet to play Deadly Frontier. Interesting. Okay. Well, that's a lot of stuff that you need to have in order to just play this massive expansion. And this one has, that's probably why it's so heavy, right? If we blow it up here, you can see that it's got the 12 models here, the 12 planet boards, and holy, 780 frickin' cards. 780 cards in this box? Man, I am so glad I'm not a sleever. Like, because that's the other thing. Sleeving is such a waste of money. That's my controversial take for this video. Sleeving is such a waste of money because half the time you're sleeving games you don't even know if you love or you want yet. So I never understand that. You know, you got people that are sleeving like LCGs and things like that, and then trying to sell them, and then trying to make you pay for the cost of sleeving or what the sleeves would be additionally. Like, hey man, I'm not paying for the cost of your sleeves. If you want to sell me it, you know what? You're going to have to take a loss on that side of things. And if you don't want to sell me that, then you know what? Sorry. You know, and invariably, sometimes people will buy them, but you know, I see that more so with the LCGs than anything else. And, you know, I got to take the shrink off this, right? Because this is the one we really got to take a look at. And I didn't get all the extras. I didn't get all the extra miniatures. I didn't get all the extra, like, deluxeifications. You know, I said, you know, again, I'm not a huge deluxeification. I think miniatures are nice, but, like, especially when you've got a huge sprawling board and map and you can't see me behind the box, that it's not really so much table presence as it is table hog. And that's my fear nowadays with a lot of these games, is miniatures are becoming table hogs rather than making people more attractive. And that's why, like, something like Uprising Curse of the Last Emperor, which is sitting right over here for me, is so attractive, because you still get the awesome table presence, but you don't have to deal with such a massive headache overhead-wise. So, sticking in there for a second. So we'll put that up there. Oh, there's the knife. That would have been nice to know a second ago. Speaking of standees, though, that's a nice segue. We got some nice color standees here. Lots of punching, I think, I'm going to be doing after this video. Because I'm not going to bore you with like 30 minutes of punching on that video. Like, I don't know what people do with unboxings and things like that, but that sounds totally tedious and stupid. And again, there's the rule book. How bad is this rule book? How good is this rule book? And what I mean by that, sorry, that came out wrong. How thick and long and luxurious is this rulebook going to be? And is it going to be as straightforward? Because, you know, even with Tamashii, I had to watch a video or two to learn how to play Tamashii, even though that was literally almost the latest one to come out from Awaken Realms. And not, again, that I mind watching videos, but one of my core tenets on this channel is that I should not have to watch a video in order to learn how to play. I should be able to pick this up. Anybody who has not played any board games, any, okay, maybe some, but you know what I'm saying. Anybody in our hobby should be able to pick this up, read through this, set it up, and learn how to play. Relatively straightforward. The errata, the amount of confusion, the amount of significant content that it just seems like it comes off as nobody outside of the people who designed it played it and learned it that way. And that's my big issue and concern with games like this that are so big box, or that are doing, again, multi-language situations, because I never know as well what language was this originally designed in. And these guys are fantastic, right? Don't get me wrong about languages, because I think, you know, you can speak more than one language, you're better than me. You know what? And that's the sign I saw the other day, reminding just something that's been pervasive in my worldview since I was a teenager. If you're speaking broken English, that means English is probably a second language for you. So you're already a step up on me in that sense. So we've got just planets going on here. Just planets. Planets, codename NU4 SETI B. Codename B1 or 81 Inf B. Okay, that makes no sense. Codename. Why would the codenames be letter number combinations that make no sense? Like Everstorm. That's fine. Okay, I like that. Everstorm 2. Eternal Sunrise. Am I supposed to be looking at these? Golf Ball? I don't care. I'm looking at them anyway. You want some spoilers here? I mean, it's beautiful. Awaken Realms has probably the best artistic design department almost out there. And this is no exception to that right now. So it's fantastic. I love seeing this. Victory Pool. Do not use until destructed. Okay. Probably shouldn't be totally probably thumbing through that, but whatever, right? That's what this is for. What is going on with this? It's like a board turned over the edge here and slotted in the side. Secret envelope. Do not open instructed. Should we just do that? Oh, it's already open. It's already open. Peak-sies. I can't tell what's in there. I can peek. It's my board game. You know, that's the other problem that I think with a lot of stuff nowadays, with the unlocking of things, as another side tangent here. Like, sometimes I just want to use the cool stuff. I don't want to have to get 30 hours into this game to find something cool. That's the biggest problem with, like, Aeon Trespass Odyssey, too. I love it, but sometimes you just don't get the cool stuff. And that's what I really want out of the games. Like, I want the cool stuff. I want to do the cool stuff. I don't even know what this stuff is. System maps, whatever the deuce that is. Okay, I guess I'm jumping around and allowing me to navigate. Oh, man. I'm going to have like 3 things out, probably, at least at all times, to grab this. Fortitudine Veritas Prologue. I got to read this to get the background. Oh, it's a comic. Okay, my kid can have that. I'm gameplay, not narrative, more majority. So, Operations book, you will mark and fill this book as you play Operations. You can use the app, though. Oh, geez. This reminds me of, like, old school, like, taking tests. Remember, like, the Scantrons? Like, this reminds me of, like, a Scantron booklet. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? You guys won't have a clue. Log. Oh, geez. Okay, log book. Oh, my goodness freaking gracious. And who didn't tell me that this was going to be... Oh, my fruitcake. Oh my goodness. Okay, we're apping this up. Ooh, I'm not. I mean, this is just. I mean, look at this. This is just. Oh boy. You know, that's my big dilemma, right? Like, I am okay with the board. I'm okay with the miniatures. I'm okay with the 1,000 tokens. I'm okay with the 1,000 cards. But now I've got like 4 different books that I'm gonna have to manage at the same time with this. That's my big issue. Like, I don't have the wherewithal. This is the little binder thing. And what the heck is this right now? Oh, this is the binder. It's just in there super awkwardly, right? Shit book. It was just like, I thought this was just like, this was an empty cardboard. Oh, yeah, it is. Ha! Just kidding. There you go. No board game components were hurt in the making of this video, by the way. Yet. So, there's your 3-ring binder. There's your thing. Okay. Okay. This is getting bigger and deeper and more complex. So, these are the... Oh, good gracious. There is no way I'm going to be able to get this played anytime soon. This is going to be a hazard. This is a game where, a lifestyle game. This is truly and utterly a lifestyle game because you're going to have this set up and just leave it out. Look at all these cards. Look at all these cards, folks. You can't really tell because this plastic is obscuring it and it's not zoomed in here. But now that I zoom it in for you, you can see, look at all those cards, right? That's all individual stacks right there. And then we've got a whole nother row of stuff down here. And another stuff over here, and more stuff up here that you can't see as well at a camera shot. I mean, the dice, I'm fine. I love dice chucking, right? Dice chucking, colored dice, way too many dots on the sides of these dice. Look at all those dots on all over the sides. I don't have a clue what those are doing. I mean, it's a dice chucking good time. But this might be one of the most inaccessible games, you know, for me to be able to get to the table in the near future. Again, I think it looks fantastic. I mean, the miniatures are okay here. Let's talk about the miniatures here. Let's grab some of these guys so you can see them. Okay. Not too shabby there. This guy gives me sort of the Rocket and Groot feeling, you know. Although he's got like a minigun, so, you know, you can kind of see that. And that's fine. They're, you know, about what you'd expect. You know, this size. It's just fine. I'm really kind of glad I didn't get the rest of them, though. Is this my little spaceship? But again, that's functionality wise, it's okay. So we'll see. I have no idea with this one. This one's gonna be a journey. This is gonna be a long journey, I feel like. Where'd this go? Where'd this come from? Was this on top of something? Did I take it off the other thing? Yeah, I took it off of this thing down below. So, I don't know. This is a ton of cards, and I won't bore you with the rest of me, like, unwrapping those cards, but this is going to be a labor of love and a labor of, can I even get it all back in there? Because now this binder is like, man, like, idea-wise, cool. Actuality-wise, I'm not really sure this is going to be fantastic. And the binder goes like this, I guess. Right? Did I have it like that? Ooh, it doesn't really bend like that. Okay, did it really bend like that on the way in? I don't know how I'm getting this back in the box, so that might be the part of this video that gets edited out. But how many of these games do you need? How many of these games can I even afford? Well, I can afford them all. Maybe. But can you afford table time? Space-wise? No, that's more the issue. Whoops, that fell off the table. So, as I struggle to get this even halfway back into the box somehow, despite all of this stuff, it just makes me question any big box campaign game again, to be frank with you. Of, should I be buying any of these games? Should I be trying to play any of these games? Because from a quality of life measure, like, I would love this in theory. Like, if I had no kids, and I could come home from work and play a mission every day after work and just go through it in that regard, I think this would be an ideal situation. I could just leave set up. And my wife was like talking about like converting one of the kids' rooms, because they're all sleeping in the same room right now, because we put the 2 older ones together in the same room, and then the youngest one was like, I want to sleep in there every night with them. And we were like, well, okay, I guess you can. But so he hasn't been sleeping in his room, and so then we have a guest room, and so I don't know, this, like, right, that's gonna work, Chris. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with this yet. I may review this, I may play this. This is not a review copy. This is my own backer copy. Part of me almost just kind of wants to sell it. Is that a bad thing after just unboxing it? Yeah, it kind of is. Ever feel that way? I'm feeling that way right now. Let's go into Mythic Battles. So let's take a look at this inside. You know, Monolith, again, like, this box is so thick and heavy, it's kind of hard to grip on the sides sometimes. So let's see what we got going on here. Again, we got the map situation, okay? Okay, this doesn't look too full. Whoa, we got like 2 huge maps. You know, I guess I would have liked a playmat. This is, you know, the reason I'm really getting into more playmats, because this map is just massive. And I worry just that, you know, folding back and forth several times, it just, let me be clear, this is how big this thing is, folks. This is massive, right? That's kind of cool, though. It's a neat fire and ice thing on that side. But there's 2 of those, and I feel like after a couple times you fold it, like, I can already, like, feel like it's gonna, like, break on me as I'm doing that. So that's why I'm really trending towards the playmat side of things as a whole. So this is mostly the non-miniature based box, it looks like. And we have trees here, and so trees, you want to see some trees? And some statues, pillars, stone things there. And then just a whole lot of the player cards, or the character cards here. All of these named ones that you've never heard of, and all of the ones that you don't care about. Skuld, Engraboda, the Chats de Freya. So these are all in French too. So is the English just on the other side? Yeah. So again, I just don't have a clue. And look at this text on this one right here. Like, look at the amount of text just over here as like a secondary character. You know, having to remember all 3 of those, that's a ton of stuff to have to do. Especially if you're drafting these and the meta style. So I worry that, again, like, too much of a good thing is too much of a good thing. So that'd be my biggest concern. Now, this insert is actually felt lined, folks. You can't feel it, but the black here is just kind of going on there. So flip this over, get the English side again. Again, Troll. Can't pronounce any of these names. Not even going to try from the Nordic side of things. Just the question again is, you know, I already have tons of this stuff. And I was just looking the other day and they announced Egypt. And I don't know when I'm going to play this. I don't know when I'm going to get the other one played. So what is it going to look like from that aspect? Little upgrade, little holders. Let's see, we have the actual deck of cards here. Deck of cards here in the English version. You know, and that's fine. But, you know, again, I kind of just wish they had it in English or French instead of this double-sided thing. I know it makes production probably a little bit easier, but like, here you go, right? Like, I got a French deck here that I'm just never going to use. Like, I'm just going to put it back in the box and just call it good. Like, oh, yay, I'm super happy about having that. So, English 2, right? I don't know what this is sitting there next to it. Titans activation cards. So, I just look at this and I go, that's kind of nice. At the same time, it adds a whole lot more that I just don't need. And you can see that this thing is like half empty. So why was this box so big? Like, is this just like going to be part of the storage together with, you know, the original? And that's kind of okay, but kind of, again, I just wish it was smaller. So you have to have the maps this size nowadays because the miniatures are, again, just like I said with ISS Vanguard, taking up so much space in the first place that otherwise it's overcrowded on the board and you can't do it from that side of things. So here's the other box, the main box, the box you probably actually want to see, buried at the lead. I didn't actually pay attention to which box is first, so I apologize for that. But this is obviously the miniature box. So we have this going for us, and let's kind of see what we got going on. Again, this is where a lot of the money is probably going, because unless felt-lined inserts are, you know, super expensive nowadays, that's what you're looking at. So again, I don't know how I feel about the French and English, right? Here we go, French, English. Both there. Player aids, which are super helpful because the previous iterations of rules were not terribly great. And they've kind of done the CMON approach here. I wasn't expecting that as a whole, but they've got just this box, not necessarily open air like the Awaken Realms ones was. So we've got 2 different sets of boxes in here, and we'll just kind of have to like set it aside and kind of do one at a time, I guess. And I always have trouble opening these. So these kind of things on the ends of these openings are just the worst ones. The ones that like slide in to lock it. Like, I know why you do that, but they're just horrible to open because you can't hardly ever open them without ripping them. And that's just kind of irritating. And these aren't nearly as big as I was hoping. So I've got one of these out now, and you can kind of see that these miniatures really are about the same size as the Awaken Realms ones. I was kind of hoping they were going to be bigger, but I mean, these are your troops. These are your troops. You're getting to see what they've got going on there, and you just have all of your smatterings and your varieties there. And I took one out of this one so you can kind of see where it goes. But what I'm realizing now is I probably just should have gotten a couple expansions, like the monster ones, like Ymir, the big worm, the big Loki thing. And I should have just gotten those because I don't really need these. I don't really want these. You know, these are the ones you're going for. These are the massive mothers, right? These are the named folks. Here are the Thor's goats, right? I don't even know who these people are, but there's a big freaking spear that guy's holding. But again, like, I look at this now and I just go, these seem really cool. I mean, this is a really freaking sweet bear. You can kind of see that he's got that going on, right? But on the map, like, it loses something for me without the color. And, you know, I hate to say it. I mean, this guy's pretty cool, right? Lugging around a huge tree, gonna go bash somebody with it. But I just look at this and I go, you know, nowadays, when am I gonna get this played? Like, again, like, that's why I kind of like the Exceeds, the Yomis, the Battle Cons. I've got all this tactical, you know, gameplay to go with it, but I don't have to, you know, grab all the 6 cards of this and grab the matching tokens of that, and then grab and find the miniature, and then try and put this miniature thing back in there, but it's not going back in because, you know, it doesn't fit quite perfectly always going back in. So just little minutia like that is just kind of one of those things where I'm really kind of getting away from this style. And so that's why I'm not probably at this point going to be looking to back Mythic Battle Egypt. I know it's like Ifrit. No, it's not Egypt, but they're calling it something else, but that's essentially what it is. And again, I think there'd be some cool stuff there, but I might just maybe go what I just mentioned, right? Picking up some of the cool individual ones on the secondary rather than just getting a big box, because this right now is not going to be easy to get played. And like with some of the Simon stuff, right? It's not easy to get out in the first place. So it's not like you can just like whip this game out and like play it anytime somebody comes over, right? Like, this is a labor of love, and it kind of reminds me a little bit of Castles of Burgundy, right? Castles of Burgundy is fine, but that copy of Castles of Burgundy that I have is, you know, almost impossible to get easily accessibly played, and setup and teardown is just becoming a bigger and bigger issue nowadays. So, you know, you're almost better off, if you have any qualms about not like completely utterly loving it and playing it a million times a year, buying the 20th anniversary edition. Now, I mean, this is the cool stuff. This is the stuff you came to see. This is the stuff I wish all of them were this size. But you can't make everything this size. I almost just wish you had less of the fodder troops and just had more of the absolute massive ones, right? Like Fenrir here. I'm assuming this is Fenrir, but I mean, this thing is massive. He's got a dagger through his mouth. It's kind of weird. Anyway, I don't know. I'm not up to speed on my Norse mythology at all, so it's kind of creepy weird there, as you can kind of see. It's kind of like mouth in, like sitting back on there. I don't know. That's kind of strange if you ask me, but I guess so. No one asks me because no one cares about my opinion on this stuff. And then you got like the little dragon, which is kind of cool wrapped around, but then it's just kind of there too. So I don't know. Like, this is cool. This is the stuff that has the good table presence, but this isn't the stuff that, you know, is also going to be affordable if you want to make more of your miniatures this size to make people more attracted to it in the first place. I mean, I'm assuming this is Thor here, right? I mean, he's holding a freaking hammer, so it's an obvious one go-to there. I don't know, skeleton dog beast thing here. So again, this is cool. I like these things. These are some cool sculpts and they're nice. But unless you're a painter, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with these nowadays. I don't need a freaking eagle. You know, go fly to Gondor, you know. Just kidding. Or, you know, go fly with the ring to Mount Doom is what I should have said there to be really clever. I know, I'm just teasing. That plan clearly wasn't going to work either. So, yeah, there you go. This is Mythic Battles Ragnarok. How do you feel about this sort of thing? These, you know, I was expecting this video to be sort of a meh, right? I was expecting this video to just kind of be me blabbing and be making easy content. And I wasn't expecting this video to actually be not as uplifting as I wanted it to be. Like, this is full of regret. This is a video full of regret, folks. I was not planning on or expecting this to be that way. Like, you know, I don't plan or script these videos whatsoever, and all of this is just off the top of my head, but I don't feel good about this anymore. I feel like I could turn around and sell both of these games after the video and have little to no sweat off my back and feel relatively good. Maybe go buy some more Star Wars Unlimited with it. Because that would make me feel really good, as I'm probably going to get like super poor pulls and super bad luck, and I have horrible luck and anytime there's anything like that at all. Raffles, draws, anything along those lines. So anyway, I'm going to not bore you with me putting this back in the box and struggling to do so, but that's it. What do you think? How do you feel about these now, just looking through this? And how do you feel about the stuff coming your way that's similar? Because I know that you know that there is. So just trying to help you avoid making my mistakes. I still love talking about it, though. Stay classy. Have a great freaking day. Can't press it down too hard, you'll break the box, right? Don't want to do that. But I got it all back in there rather smoothly and rather quickly. That's at least, well, somewhat impressive for one of two boxes. This video was supposed to be super uplifting and me being super happy about receiving this. Not me feeling like this afterwards, folks. Can't make this stuff up. Don't be me.